Hi, I'm Aditya Tare, and you're watching me on the Knuckleball podcast. 2014 to get 119 14.3 overs
Yeah.
was really a very difficult. I just had in my mind that in those point 0.3 balls, I will be somewhere in the middle. All I had in my mind that day, I can clearly remember even now, is I want to hit the ball out of the park. I think Rohit has achieved everything that is there to be achieved with Mumbai Indians. He has nothing left to do. It was more than Rohit, it was everyone else. The Mumbai Indians, the fan base, and everyone else around found it difficult to see Rohit not as their captain. And I think meeting with him, be it how many ever times, it's still a special moment. He's got a different aura about him. He said that once I make a comeback now, I will not look back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Knuckleball podcast. I'm Roddur Mookherjee, and I'm joined by my co-host Sriram, Ganesh. And our guest today is someone extremely special, because for IPL fans like us, this man is nothing short of a cult hero. श्रीराम दे से एक छक्के ने वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जिताया, लेकिन एक छक्के ने उस रात मुंबई का दिल जैसे जीता. I cannot even talk more about it, so I let the man himself talk about it. I'm joined by none other than former Mumbai Indians cricketer Aditya Tare. Aditya, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for joining us, Aditya. We're so glad to have you on the Knuckleball podcast, and I can't wait to have some brilliant conversations with you.
Thank you guys. I'm very good, and I'm really happy that I've come on the podcast, and really happy to share whatever experiences or I'm just happy to be here.
That was fantastic. So, as Roddur mentioned in his intro, it's very well put, by the way. Uh, I just want to mention, we have to start off with that. That six against Rajasthan that night. What was the feeling? What was going on in your head when you were batting against Faulkner that day and you're like, oh God, I have to hit a boundary now? What was that like?
Um, there's a bit of a story behind it because that season I started off the first four games as an opener, and we were winning games, so we had to change some combinations. So after that, from the fifth game onwards, I started batting at number five or six,
Yeah.
and then I was batting at five, six, seven, throughout the season. And we lost the first five games, which were held in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and we came back to India having 0 points on the board. So, and from that, to come and be at a stage where we can still make the playoffs was a terrific comeback for the team. And eventually, what happened was, when we played the 13th league game, we got to know that next game is against Rajasthan, and the two teams were fourth and fifth, and either of the two teams, MI or Rajasthan, are going to finish fourth and
Yeah.
qualify. And the equations were out saying if Mumbai Indians has to qualify before the game even started, that we have to chase whatever the target is in 14.3 overs.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just because I was batting at number six, when I got to know that it's gonna be 14.3, I just had a instinct of feeling where I thought that if we chase, I will be there somewhere around that point.
Right. Yeah.
And because I was batting at number six, and usually you bat at that moment or in the death. So I just had an instinct, a gut feeling that even before the game started, just after the 13th game, when we got to know the equation and stuff, I just had in my mind that in those point 0.3 balls, I will be somewhere in the middle. And
Right.
then I completely forgot about it. And when the game went on, they got to 190 or something, and I was just sitting up with Boom, at the Wankhede dressing room, just outside the dressing room, not even in the dugout, when the run chase started with Mumbai Indians. I was just chewing a gum with our manager, Rahul Samgit, shared a gum with us. We both were just sitting, and no one actually spoke about, we'll do it, this, that. It was like no one really spoke about it. Everyone knew that whatever it is, we just have to give it our all because that's our only chance. And to think about it now, even the way T20 has gone in the last 3-4 years, it's like every team is wanting to achieve more than 220, 230. But back in 2014 to get 119 14.3 overs
Yeah,
was really a very difficult
yeah,
uh,
yeah, of course.
task. So no one really spoke that it's possible or this that. There was not much of a chat in the mid break. Everyone just went about their business, just went that just let's just give it all, whatever it is, we'll see, kind of
Yeah,
a feeling. And so I was just sitting up with Boom and chewing, and the game was going on, and wickets were falling. There was a partnership fail, this that. Then at some stage I had to go and wear my pads. I went and sat down, and the way Corey Anderson and Bati Rai who had that partnership, they
yeah.
just gave us hope. And eventually it came down to 14.3, where none of the teams anticipated. It was either we won't be able to get to 190 within 14.3, or we'll get it. No
Hmm.
one really thought that it will be a tie, or the
Yeah.
scores will be leveled at 14.3. It was an no one really imagined that possibility, that scenario. And then the confusion all started, and we were like, probably it's gone, and then suddenly, even before I went in the middle, and Ambati was still upset, and he was struggling to get off the field because the scores were leveled. He just got run out, and people had to literally carry him back to the uh, dressing room from the ground. He was so dejected because he thought that it's over. We're out of the tournament. And then
Yeah,
suddenly,
yeah.
just before I walked in from the dugout to the pitch, the analyst and Anil Bhai was our coach, Anil Kumble, and he said that you can still hit a six and we can still qualify. So that's the thought that I got when I was walking into bat, and I still had that gum in my mouth from the start of the innings, that I was sitting up in the dressing room and chewing. I had no clue about it. And when I went into bat, I just had one thought in my mind saying that, see, it's a 50-50 chance. Either I'll hit it or I won't. There's no other
Wow, yeah.
scenario. It's an exact 50-50 possibility. All I had in my mind that day, I can clearly remember even now, is I want to hit the ball out of the park.
Wow,
Whatever
yeah.
it is, I just want to hit my thought, my only goal in that moment was on the possibility, the 50% possibility of achieving the target. So I just went with one thought that I'm going to clear the boundary, whatever it is. And suddenly, when I went in the middle, there was another message. Apurva Wankade was part of the team, and he came in running, told me that even if it's a boundary, we still qualify. It's not just a six; we just need a boundary.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, fine. But in my head, I was clear that I don't want to take any chances. My mind was still, or I was still pretty clear that I want to hit it completely. And when there was still a lot of confusion, a lot of thinking, that even the RR team had a small meeting deciding what fields to have, all those kind of things. And when eventually they were all ready, they had the mid on, mid off up covers and points. So four fielders in the circle. They had the mid on, mid off up, which meant that probably is going to go for a bouncer,
Hmm.
not going to bowl a Yorker or a full delivery, having the mid on, mid off in the 30-yard circle. And on the leg side, he had deep mid wicket, deep square leg, deep fine leg. Offside, he had deep point, which was slightly inside, like finer, where you can uppercut. And third man was still in, where if you play the upper lap, the third man is in play. So they set the field for a bouncer.
Hmm.
And when I was batting, the leg side was the shorter end that day at the
Hmm.
Wankhede. So I just knew it's going to be a bluff. He's not going to bowl a bouncer because the leg side is the shorter side. If he bowls a bouncer, even a top edge can go out. So
Hmm.
I anticipated that they're just trying to bluff with the field, and they're going to go for a wide Yorker. So I was ready for a wide Yorker, and if you see when I've played the ball, I've kind of walked across onto the stumps. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried to
Hmm.
cover the line because I was thinking it's going to be a wide Yorker. Unfortunately, missed his line. He went,
Yeah.
in the
On the
stumps.
leg stump, yeah.
Yeah, and then it came on my legs. Thankfully, missed the length also, and it was a nice, you know, uh, almost
Juicy full,
knee
juicy full
high, knee
toss.
high, yeah, juicy full toss, knee high full toss. So I kind of anticipated, what is going to come, and I think I've never hit the first ball as sweet or as in the middle of the bat, other than that day, and it was crazy. Like, even if you see the ball, when it goes, it just goes, and it's just still traveling. It goes
Yeah.
flat and it's hitting at the first tier. It could have still traveled, kind of a thing. So how well it was hit, it was incredible. Like I still, sometimes you have that in your memory of that moment, or that connection, it's still there within your system. So I can
Uh,
still feel the connection of the ball and the bat
wow.
of that delivery.
Okay.
No, but Aditya, tell me about, right after that moment, आपने छक्का मार दिया ऐसे, and suddenly it clicks कि अरे, oh my God, हमने कर दिया, and you have your shirt up and running around celebrating. It's one of the most iconic images in IPL, and the whole team is running around. I mean, did you have the celebration planned, and how was the reaction after that in the dressing room? Big personalities in the dressing room, but you were the hero that day. How was the reaction from everyone?
It was crazy. Like, of course, I was just a one ball wonder that game. I think Bati Raidu and Corey Anderson actually won the game for us, or got us to that stage. But you know, like you said, it's a team sport, and every small contribution matters if you want to win, or if you want to win championships. And it was kind of an example of how everyone needs to be part of the team or contribute, to a particular job. However small or menial it is really important for the higher purpose or the team goals to be achieved. So it was that kind of a situation that I was in, and I'm glad that I played my part. But the moment it went for a six, and I realized that we've qualified, we made to the playoffs. First, I kind of wanted to run towards my team at the dugout. Then I changed direction. I went towards the north stand at the Wankhede Stadium,
Yeah.
because after losing 5 games, coming back with no hope of making the playoffs, and still we could kind of make it to the playoffs. It was because we came back to the Wankhede Stadium after the first 5 games in the UAE. We won games at the Wankhede Stadium. We still had that kind of love, support, and the belief from our fans, from
Hmm.
our supporters, especially at home, and that kind of triggered the run towards the north stand, because I wanted to celebrate it
For
with
the
our
fans.
fans.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Beautiful.
historically, if you see, the Wankhede Stadium is known for the fans of the north stand. They are the
Hmm.
true, local fans, because those are tickets which are available to
To the
everybody,
public. Yeah, to
Yeah.
to the
everyone.
public. That's where the Mumbai public comes and watches the game, and it's the most active kind of stand in the Wankhede Stadium. And I wanted to go and celebrate the victory, the moment, the joy with them.
Wow.
That's when I started running, north at the north stand, which is exactly opposite of the dugout or the dressing room of the Wankhede Stadium. And the celebration was just part of it. Never thought about it. Or that I'm going to celebrate as a footballer or something. But I was a footballer growing up. I played football for my
Okay.
school. I follow football. I love football. So that just came out that day, but wasn't planned.
So in that era of Mumbai Indians, we saw some of the absolute giants of the game who you were sharing the dressing room with. One of them has, of course, been Rohit Sharma, who you've shared the dressing room for a long time. So, what was he like in the dressing room? How has he been a leader as a person? How has he helped you almost shape your career as well?
But like, he's very good in terms of having one-on-one communications.
Hmm.
You can understand, even if you're an outsider, you can still feel that he deeply cares about his team, about his teammates, about others to do well as well. He's kind of a selfless guy, and I think he's grown well into that leadership role. Uh, I think growing up, we also have had under 17, under 19 days together. There was some
Yeah.
season that he played, age group cricket for Mumbai, and that time was quite uh, kind of. He used to have fun, but he wasn't that involved with the team. But I think he grew into that role once he got the captainship of Mumbai Ranji team first, and then the Mumbai Indians, and kind of uh, groomed himself as a good leader. And if you see now, he's become great in terms of
Hmm.
not just Mumbai Indians, but for the Indian team as well, and having won the ICC championships back to back for India. I think it's just that quality that Rohit Sharma has. He's quite selfless. He wants others to do well, and he has kind of his own way of inspiring people, inspiring his team, inspiring or leading his team. And I'm just so happy and find myself so fortunate that I was able to play with him for a bit. But having the so many times that he's come up to me and spoken to me. Sometimes he was upset with me if I didn't do well because he really cared and wanted me to do well.
Right. Can
So
you share us one
that
instant, Aditya, about one of these one-on-one conversations with Rohit?
Yeah.
When it's just you and him, and it's a heartfelt discussion. Can you share one of the instances which you
so,
have
so it
spoken
was it
about?
was I think one of the discussions were there during that season only when even Rohit used to open a few games and he used to be batting in the middle order. So
Yeah.
he and I was having good starts, but I wasn't converting them into a bigger score. So he just once came to me and said, "Dude, don't worry. You don't have to just hit every ball. You take your time. I don't care. You just bat with. I don't want you to bat at 150 strike rate. I want you to bat 120.
Yeah.
That's fine for me. So it's kind of taking pressure off me, wanting to tell me
Yeah.
that don't go too hard because from the team management I had a message that you have to go hard in the top six. If you go, with the power play, go hard. I want you to bat at 150. But then Rohit came, he realized that, there's no need. I don't want you to lose your wicket and stuff. You just play at 120, then you can kind of, take it forward from there. But, that's where I found that, he wanted to protect me. He wanted to, give me a little more time.
Right.
So that those kinds of things. And he was really happy when I did well. And he used to even when IPL isn't there, he'll be around at BKC and he'll find out what's going
Yeah.
on with these guys and how's the Mumbai team doing, what's happening, so all those kind of things. So he's pretty much there, for his teams.
And Aditya, because you saw Rohit the leader up close in person for many seasons, I want to ask you about one particular moment which happened last year, or actually the year before, when MI decided to move on from Rohit as captain to Hardik as captain. Now, in that 2013 season, it was Ponting who was captain, and then Rohit sort of transitioned. So, having been someone who got the captaincy, how do you think Rohit would have reacted when he got to know that Hardik will now take over as the captain? What sort of a mindset would he have to a change again?
Listen, I think in terms of Mumbai Indians, where the leadership role was transferred to or given to Hardik, I think Rohit has achieved everything that is there to be achieved with Mumbai Indians. He has nothing left to do. So I don't think it
Right.
must have affected him
Yeah.
any way because he's done his job. He's created a
Yeah.
legacy, and obviously, eventually, even he knows that at some point in some stage, it has to move on. And I think it was more than Rohit, it was everyone else, the Mumbai Indians, the fan base, and everyone else around found it difficult to, see Rohit not as their captain.
Yeah.
I think he really transitioned well. He's achieved everything. I don't think he must have had anything in his mind saying, "Okay, yeah, this something that probably winning an
Yeah.
IPL would have been great." Or this, but he's won 5 IPL trophies. He's got an incredible record as a leader for Mumbai Indians. So
Yeah.
I think I don't think there was any kind of uh,
Like
say
hard feelings.
dissatisfaction or
Yeah.
something
Right.
that he's not achieved and he has to still achieve with Mumbai Indians. I think that wasn't there at all with Rohit, and he was pretty sure. If you see, his game was pretty much the same. He still went on
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
in the top six. And that's the quality of Rohit. If you see, even though he wasn't the captain last year, he was still very much involved on the field. If you see, he's always talking to the bowlers of the Mumbai Indians. So that leadership will not go away from Rohit. He'll always be a leader within the
Right.
Mumbai Indians setup. He'll be someone that all the players will look up to. So it's just that the captainship role has gone to Hardik, but as a leader, Rohit is still ever present for Mumbai. So I don't think anything has changed as such.
Right. Fascinating insight.
Speaking of one Mumbai hero, we have to
Yeah.
talk about the other.
Yeah.
The Mumbai hero, the India hero for all of us. You have shared a dressing room with Sachin Tendulkar. Now, growing up, I have been a massive Sachin Tendulkar fan. I am sure you must have been as well. You have shared a dressing room with Sachin. How was that? Were there any moments where like the fanboyism has ended? Like, were you ever able to be like, okay, Sachin is a teammate now, I'm not just a fanboy?
It's really not even in my wildest dreams. I thought growing up that I will ever be able to play with Sachin sir. I mean, you know, before the Mumbai Indians experience, there were a couple of times when Sachin sir used to uh, come and speak to us as young players. I remember when I was under 19 Mumbai player, and Sachin sir was being called by our coach Selection Kulkarni to come and have a chat with us. And he sat on the ground at the BKC with us, everyone sitting in a circle on the ground, and he's there just talking to us. Then all of a sudden he asked me a question, and I was like, he asked me, "Okay, tell me what do you think? Is there any issue in your game?" And I was like, "What what can I?" I was just awestruck of him picking me out, singling me out, and asking me a question. I was like, I don't know. I have so many things that are not going right now in my batting or in my game, but I just couldn't put words,
Yeah.
or just ask
Yeah.
him anything as such. I forgot what I asked him. I eventually asked him something, but I just forgot what it was. But I was just awestruck by that moment. And from there, we met when I was part of the Mumbai Indians, and even then, in the first season or so, I was like, still, it was an unbelievable fact for me that I was playing for Mumbai
Hmm.
Indians when Sachin sir was captain. I was just sharing the dressing room, and it was, and I think meeting with him, be it how many ever times, it's still a special moment.
Yeah.
He's got a different aura about himself, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's amazing. Like, I just still can't put it into words, what it is to meet and to be with Sachin. Sachin is incredible, but that guy has got incredible amounts of knowledge, not just cricket, not just batting. It's about everything. He's very passionate. He's
Yeah.
got in-depth knowledge of things that he's passionate about. It can be cars, it can be anything. He just wants to know whatever it is, know the technicality of it, know the analyze it and all that stuff. So he's got a great mind, a great brain in terms of how to dissect or bisect things and stuff. So, like, it's crazy. Like, I'm glad that I played with him. I played with his son, both of
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so it's too good, the fact. And I get along well with Arjun as well. So um,
Wow.
whenever I meet Sachin sir, it's good fun, and it's a special moment.
I hope one day we are able to meet Sachin
Yeah.
as well.
We
Yeah,
so want to be
definitely.
done.
I hope
But
maybe.
yeah, Aditya, when you were at MI, this young hotshot fast bowler was coming along, and he was a key part when MI won the title in 2015, which is of course Jasprit Bumrah, and he came in with that weird action, and then you came back at MI in 2020, and now of course you are here as a pundit. You see him every day. He's probably the best in the world. So from the bowler you saw in 2015, when you came back in 2020, what was the change you noticed? And when you see him now, what is the change from 2020 that you noticed with Bumrah? I mean, did you think Bumrah would always be that special even in 2015, 2014?
See, I've known Jasprit since 2013. He was there, part of
Yeah.
the squad. He made his debut in 2013 for Mumbai Indians. He played the
Yeah.
first game of the season in
Against
2015
RCB,
against
yeah.
RCB,
Yeah.
and then he played just another game during that season, and he didn't play at all. And then since 2014, he started playing consistently. He went through his knee surgeries, and all that stuff. And the way he's come back, it's incredible. But I've known him when he was very raw, and we got along together.
Right.
We still we're pretty fond of each other, and he's a great guy. He's very humble, and it's incredible how he has kind of progressed and become this the world champion, a world beater. I think he's got a crazy mindset.
Mm.
Like, he just wants to be number one at anything that he does. Of course, when we started off, he was still not as fit as he is today. So he worked on his fitness. The special thing about Jasprit Bumrah is every season he'll come and he'll bring something new and he'll master it. So
Hmm.
initially he started off with just having an in swinger and an off cutter.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Then he kind of mastered that. mastered the Yorker. He learned a lot, playing alongside Lasith Malinga. They are very
Yeah.
tight together, very close together. They share a lot of, insights. Lasith Malinga shares a lot of insights of bowling with him, not just bowling those Yorkers, but tactically field placements. They have fabulous discussions. They're always together in the nets, talking, discussing fields and bowlings, and how to get at the batters and all that stuff. So they're both very close, and I think Jasprit has learned a lot from Lasith Malinga. And going forward, like when he came into international cricket as well, he just had the instinct. He understood and knew early that he needs to have another dimension to his game. He learned the away going delivery after playing international cricket. So it just shows that it wasn't just for him to play for India. It was for him to be the best
Best.
for
Yeah.
India, best in the world. And then he said he wants to play Test cricket. He just and I had a discussion with him. With while he was playing, he just started his Test career. He said, "I don't want to just play Test cricket. I want to be the world number one bowler in Test cricket."
Wow.
So you see the mindset. It's
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
I'm playing Test cricket. Good, I'm happy and done. He's like, no,
Yeah.
I want to be number one bowler in Test. That's my dream.
Wow.
Yeah.
And to see that now he has 200 wickets at the lowest average in history.
Yeah. It's
I
Yes,
mean,
it's
that is fascinating.
Yeah, it's
Really.
crazy. And it's not just he's just developed his skill, but on the basis or on the backing of his mindset that he wants to be the best all the time, he wants to improve. And if you see Jasprit Bumrah of 2013, 14, and if you see Jasprit Bumrah of say in the next 5, 7, or 10 years, even now, he's just become leaner, meaner, fitter, stronger, having
Wow.
all those different kind of injuries. First, he had a knee surgery, he had a ACL tear,
Yeah, even
playing
ACL, yeah.
during the Duluth Trophy. We played together that year, and in the warm-ups, he did his knee, made a comeback after that surgery. Done his back, he's come back stronger, and again he's going through some niggle or so, but I'm sure he's going to come back stronger. But that's what he's all about. He's about like unmatched mental ability I've seen in terms of any athlete, especially in cricket. And
So I want
any
to
yeah,
go on. So I want to say, so 2024 is probably Bumrah's greatest year so far, even though he's been here for so long and he's done some incredible things. In your opinion, is that the best version of one bowler that you have seen? That one year, 2024 Bumrah.
I think he's just getting better and better. I think you'll find maybe 25, 26. He's beaten everyone, or he's beaten all the records in of 24. Yeah, that's what he is all about. If you see, he's just
Yeah,
getting even more difficult for the batters to play.
yeah,
He works so much. He understands better. He prepares well. He knows what kind of a pitch this is, what lengths I have to bowl. Like he always speaks about that. When I have to get my length back, when I have to bowl forward, I just read it earlier, analyze it earlier. So, he's a very smart kind of a character, smart bowler. He'll understand when and what is needed. If you see, many times he won't use his Yorker because he knows that the pitch
Right.
has a bit of pace. The batsman is
hmm,
expecting a Yorker. He'll come and hit hard lengths. So he'll always
hmm.
have those surprises. Because if you see, Bumrah has got a leg cutter, an off cutter, he's got a Yorker, he's got a bouncer, he's got
He got a
in
slow
swing,
bouncer.
he's got outswing, he bowls Yorker with the new ball, with the old ball. He can reverse swing the ball. So he's got about 10, 12 different variations as a
Yeah,
bowler, and he's mastered them all. So
yeah,
Yeah.
why, if you see the record that he has right now, or the way he is being a nightmare for the batters, is because of the mastery of his skill, and not just one or two skills in bowling particularly, but multiple skills. Like I
yeah.
said, Yorkers with the new ball is the most difficult art in bowling for a fast bowler, and he's
Hmm.
mastered that. If you see, uh, whenever any great batter comes of the opposition, the ball has to be given to Jasprit Bumrah because that's the answer.
Hmm.
And why? Because he has mastered. He's got that skill set to kind of pick wickets of the greatest batsmen right now in the world.
Right. Aditya, I want to talk about the 2020 Mumbai Indians team because you were there as well. and that is probably for many people arguably the greatest ever IPL team. So, what do you how do you remember that team? Do you agree with that sentiment? And how do you remember personalities like Tyron Pollard or some of the big names that were in Mumbai? How do you recollect that team?
Yeah, it I think it should be one of the best IPL teams to have played because it was got Bolt, you got Bumrah,
Yeah,
um,
bold. Yeah.
uh, Foley was there. I don't know. I don't know if Lasith Malinga was still playing or not. Um,
Malinga wasn't there, but Hardik in like peak
Hardik
form.
was
Hardik
there.
was there.
Yeah, he was in
Yeah,
crazy form. He was finishing the games
yeah,
really well. Surya was
yeah,
in top form.
Yeah,
And then
Surya.
Surya was in
Dekok,
top form.
yeah, Dekok, Ishan. Ishan played well that year. Saurabh
Yeah,
Tiwari who came in and played really well. A few games. So like yeah, I mean there were so many options that season, and all of them were really doing well. Bowling attack was really good. We had Pattinson, I think, that year as well. From Australia, he was there. Um, who else? Like yeah, some top players, and I think that year because of the COVID season, what had happened was at least the guys who were in Mumbai uh, and the domestic players had all kind of gotten together in Mumbai during the COVID period, and we all knew that the IPL at some stage is going to happen in Abu Dhabi. So we once the restrictions of travel were over, we used to have practice at the facility in Mumbai. The Reliance Corporate Park is a big kind of a corporate office of Reliance where they have their own ground, and everyone
yeah,
used to come practice a lot. We played a lot of balls. We practiced a lot for 2 months or so together. So Rohit, Surya, myself, Dhaval, all those guys, especially the local guys, used to come and practice. So Zach was there, was a mentor, Zaid Khan, and then people who flown in who were there in India. All the domestic players came together for a bit and they practiced. So we kind of thought that we had an upper hand because we practiced quite early. We prepared really well. We
yeah,
went a month prior to Abu Dhabi as well. And there we
Oh
practiced
wow.
really, really hard and we trained hard. The entire squad had come in early and all of us practiced so hard that, by the time we played our first game, everyone was so cooked, so ready that we just felt that we were slightly not slightly, maybe much better form, shape as a cricket team. And
yeah,
if you see the results, we kind of dominated that year. No one was really close to us that season in terms of
yeah.
form or skill.
Yeah. Fully agree. I want to talk about one more IPL title that you've been part of, and you lose count how many titles Aditya Tare has won. But I want to talk about the 2016 season now, which is away from MI, and you were at Sunrisers, and somehow you won that one as well. But I want to talk about that Sunrisers team, under David Warner with a different set group of players. How did that compare to MI, and how did you celebrate with Ben cutting that night?
So like yeah, it was a new experience because the previous 6 seasons I spent with Mumbai Indians, it was my home team. Born and brought up in Mumbai to play for your home franchise. It's a different feeling. For me to move out of that setup, it was slightly different. But I loved Hyderabad. It's a great city, great team, great culture. It's very homely. It's more like a family. Everyone's quite cool. What happened at this was also arguably one of the best IPL teams.
Yeah,
If you see the squad, if you see the depth, there were so many leaders in that team. Of course, Warner led, but you had Yuvraj Singh, you
Yeah,
yeah,
had Kane Williamson, you had
yeah,
Owen Morgan in
yeah,
that
yeah,
team.
yeah,
Trent Bolt had come to Hyderabad that year.
yeah, yeah,
Mustafizur was in his peak. So if
yeah.
you see
yeah,
the quality, Mustafizur, Bolt, Ashish Nehra, Ashubai was bowling really
yeah.
great that year. Ben
Shikhar Dhawan
Cutting,
also.
Shikhar Dhawan was there.
Shiki top of the order. Shiki and Warner had great year. Moses Henriques was there from Australia, an all rounder. So uh, Vipul Sharma played a crazy role, in
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
qualifiers as a left arm spinner. In the finals also, he got ABD out.
Yeah.
against CD. So that squad was really great. A lot of depth. Vijay Shankar was there. I remember Karan Sharma. A lot of good Indian players as well. It was a great mix of international leaders, top quality players, some great Indian stars. UV Bhai was a UVPA,
Yeah.
Ashish Nehra, Chiki Paji at the top of the order. So it was a great team by itself as well. So it's good fun, quite homely, and I really enjoyed my stint there as well. So it was very nice.
So let's.
But I want to talk about Aditya about the the change in leadership from Rohit to David Warner. How different are they in their approach?
See, I think that David Warner had a lot of support in terms of Tom Moody was the coach, was from Australia.
Uh,
He relied a lot on Kane Williamson, even though Kane Williamson didn't play a lot of games. But if you watch that year or even after that, David Warner used to feed it long off, and every time Williamson would be around him, with the
Right.
drinks, talking tactics, talking what to do, sharing ideas. Warner used to bounce off his ideas with Kane Williamson, and Williamson used to guide him a lot. So they had that good partnership
Yeah.
going on within themselves, and that kind of helped the team.
Yeah.
And of course, it was different. When you have an Indian captain and a foreigner as a captain, it makes a lot of difference for me for domestic players personally. Uh, you know, it's very difficult for the Indian players, especially if you don't know the language well, to connect to
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
the captain if he's a foreigner. So that takes a lot of effort from both sides, from the Indian players as well, to kind of learn the language or be fluent at the language and try and connect with or the captain should be of that kind of thought process where he needs to spend more time with the domestic players or whatever. But Wani was a different kind of a leader. He led with his actions. Batted really well,
Right.
top of the order. He did his own business in terms of his batting. In bowling,
Right.
he had a lot of great options. So he really managed the team really well in terms of helping the team. Like what Rohit Sharma does, he helps the entire team, he helps the players personally as well.
Right.
That's
Right.
the quality that Rohit Sharma has. And if you see, there's a vast difference between David Warner and Rohit Sharma in terms of a leader, not just
Yeah.
winning the trophies, but in terms of what Rohit Sharma has done to any youngster's career. Uh,
Right.
that sets Rohit Sharma apart. If you want to talk, what's the difference between David Warner and Rohit Sharma? I felt that Warner was slightly within his own guys. He was more comfortable, and
Hmm.
of course, I can understand that because being a foreign player, it's very difficult to connect with the domestic guys as well. But Rohit Sharma,
Right.
because he's an Indian guy, he cares deeply not just about Mumbai Indians. He cares deeply about the Indian cricket overall, and
Right.
uh,
Right.
and that is why he takes the extra step, the extra effort, to try and connect with the players, to try and help the players in any way that he can, and that's what sets Rohit Sharma apart from anybody that I've known who's had a bigger or greater impact. Except that there is NSD who's had that
Yeah.
kind of an impact, or that legacy of grooming players, of building
Right.
players not just for his franchise but for India. So it's in those lines Rohit Sharma operates. I feel.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for one, like I want to end off this chat on on about someone that you have of course shared a lot of time with. I'm sure you've played a lot of cricket with him. It's Prithvi Shaw. So for us, we saw this absolute, fantastic talent at such a young age come in, score 100 on his Test debut, and he's being talked about as this big, genius of a cricketer coming through. But it
Next
hasn't.
Tendulkar.
The next Tendulkar, yeah.
Yeah.
So it hasn't quite panned out, we have seen. So you have, of course, shared a lot of time with him. Can you share, in your opinion, what has gone wrong pretty much for Prithvi so far? And how do you think, of course, he will be able to bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he knows it's not that he is not aware of what's going on with him in his career, or what's required of him, or what people want of him. Firstly is fitness. I mean, he's pretty young still. He's what 24,
Yeah.
25 still, and if he is fit again, I think I've had a chat with him. Not a long time ago, where we spoke about what I felt was that he should be playing for India in all three formats. He's that kind of a guy. He's that kind of a
Right.
talent, and that's what he has. That's the batting ability that he has. And he also felt that, yeah, I mean, that's what is in his mind as well. And he said that once I make a comeback now, I will not look back. So he's kind of has that mindset as well, that he wants to make a comeback. And if once he does that, he wants to stay there, because he's gone to the Indian team quite early, and then he's had that setback. He's been dropped, and he's after that he's not been able to make that kind of an impact. But overall, I feel we keep texting each other, or keep talking. Whenever I find something inspiring, I share it with him, and he's always
Right.
kind of received it well. I keep talking to him, so he's a great teammate. We play for the same corporate team, Indian Oil, and we just a couple of weeks back we played a tournament together, in Baroda
Yeah.
for Indian, and we won that tournament. And he was there; he was quite involved and committed. So I was very, very happy to see that. And I'm sure that whatever's happened, like he's been dropped from the Mumbai team or not got a contract this year for IPL. I feel that it's a good thing for him, because now
Right.
he's going back right, to the bottom, and the only way forward is the top. And it's a good
Right.
kind of reset for Prithvi Shaw, I feel, and I'm sure that he's going to work really, really hard. If you see, he's kind of getting into a good rhythm or a system where he's trying to work hard on his fitness. But for me, his batting is ability has never been an issue. The only thing is for him to be able to have the work ethic what the greats
Yeah.
have been having, like say an example of Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli or all those guys, because of the
Yeah.
ability that they have. But not just that, it's just the work ethic that has prolonged, or they had achieved that greatness for a longer period of time, is only because of the work ethic that they have. And if he can
Yeah.
replicate that and be inspired by these guys, I think he will,
Yeah.
get back on track. I'm pretty hopeful that Prithvi. It's not that he doesn't know. He knows. Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone has been telling him. A lot of the guys care for him and want him to do well for the amount of ability that he has, and he knows it too. So that's the good part, that he's aware of how he can get back to the Indian setup again. So I think he's
Right.
working towards it, and hopefully in the next couple of years you'll see him back at his best.
We hope just the same, Aditya. Rapid fire with Aditya Tare. So, Aditya Tare, smartest cricket brain you've come across?
Sachin Tendulkar.
Wow. Okay. Your best friend in cricket?
Um, Initially Siddesh Lad, and then when I moved in to a different team, it was Kunal Chandela, who was we were very tight, in the cricket teams.
Okay.
A bowler that gave you nightmares?
Thankfully, I've played with all the greats in my team. None of the bowlers gave me
In
nightmares.
the
But yeah, if you
sense,
see, the first year maybe Sean Tate,
Sean Tate.
Wow, that he was quick.
Yeah.
A player you wished you played with?
Brian Lara.
Wow. Okay.
Your IPL 2025 top 4 and champion.
Up for what?
IPL 25 top 4 and champion.
Up for teams.
Yeah.
Oh God. Um, Punjab, RCB,
Okay.
MI. Once
Yeah.
Hardik and Bumrah back, and GT.
GT.
Ooh. Your champion?
Look, it's difficult to predict, man.
You can go with your allegiance and go with MI.
Yeah, yeah. I hope MI. They've got a good bowling unit this year, so I hope.
All right. Now, final question: is Knuckleball now your favorite podcast?
Let me see. Like, yeah, I hope after this episode, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Last man standing with Aditya Tare. All right. MI legends, Aditya. Hardik Pandya or Kieron Pollard?
Pollard.
Pollard. Kieron Pollard or Harbhajan Singh?
Still Pollard.
Okay.
Ooh.
Kieron Pollard or Trent Bolt?
Pollard.
Okay. Kieron Pollard or Lasith Malinga?
Malinga. You remember the 2019 final?
Yeah, of course. I am a CSK fan, of course I remember. All right. Lasith Malinga or Surya Kumar Yadav?
Malinga.
Okay. Lasit Malinga or Jasprit Bumrah?
Boom is a good friend of mine. I'll go with Boom.
Okay. Jasprit Bumrah or Sachin Tendulkar?
So many legends have played for
Yeah.
MI.
Tendulkar, man. Who's going to go away from Tendulkar? No ways.
Okay. Now
Sachin
this is the big one. I
ultimate.
know
I know what's coming. Yeah.
Sachin or Rohit. You have to go with your idol or your captain.
God. Like this is a personal thing or in terms of Mumbai Indians.
Your call.
That is yours.
Ah,
Your call.
still Tendulkar, man. Just can't go away from
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
We totally agree with you.
Yes,
Aditya,
Sachin
thank
sir,
you
of course.
so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a
All right.
fantastic time. I mean, we've
Yeah.
enjoyed this really, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a great time. Have a great day.
Yeah.
We are extremely thankful because we are quite young, and to have a cricketer come on and do a podcast with us is just a huge honor.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Cheers, man.
much. Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.